In this section, we will cover the endocrine system or hormones. For those of you interested in learning more on the endocrine system, there is an entire endocrinology textbook available on PubMed for free, as well as several podcasts available from the Academy for Anti-Aging Medicine with new research involving hormones. If you are interested, there is an optional link here, where it says click here, to view histology slides at the top of this slide. The exocrine glands will secrete their products into ducts, which will take them directly to where they are needed. The endocrine glands secrete their hormones into the interstitial fluid and have no ducts. They will diffuse into the surrounding tissue and throughout the body. The steroid hormones are derived from cholesterol. This makes them lipid soluble and able to diffuse into cells. This also means these hormones can diffuse into any cell they come into contact with. This illustration shows the various endocrine glands we have in our body in relative locations. Keep in mind both sexes are included in one example, so you will have either testes or ovaries, but not both. The endocrine system includes the pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, and adrenal glands. There are also several organs which are not exclusive endocrine organs and contain endocrine tissue. These include the thalamus, hypothalamus, pancreas, liver, small intestine, skin, heart, adipose tissue, and the placenta. The hypothalamus and pituitary are closely tied together and are referred to as the neuroendocrine system together. The hypothalamus controls most of the hormone secretion from the pituitary and therefore is part of the endocrine system. It is sometimes referred to as the HPA axis or HP axis for hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. The adrenal gland is often included in that because this is where we see the connection between our emotional state and physical events in our body. Our pituitary is almost two separate glands in one. The anterior pituitary is stimulated by releasing hormones, which will tell it to release a substance, while inhibiting hormones suppress the release of hormones. The hormones will often include that in their name. They are tropic hormones because they will act on other endocrine glands. These hormones come from the hypothalamus. The posterior pituitary has axons of neurosecretory cells that extend down from the hypothalamus. The hormones from the posterior pituitary are actually made in the hypothalamus and released from the posterior pituitary. Our lipid-soluble hormones include the steroid hormones, thyroid hormones, and nitric oxide. The steroid hormones are derived from cholesterol and include estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, and testosterone. The thyroid hormones include T3 or triiodothyroxine and T4 or thyroxine. By being lipid-soluble, they are stored somewhat in body fat and their levels do not fluctuate as quickly. The water-soluble hormones include the amines, which are made from modified amino acids. They also include the polypeptide, protein, and glycoprotein hormones composed of 3 to 200 amino acids. The eicosanoid hormones are the prostaglandins and leukotrienes. These are derived from arachidonic acid and influenced by the levels of omega-3 versus omega-6 fatty acids and are involved with inflammation and immune functions. In the anterior pituitary, we have 5 types of cells that produce 7 different hormones. The cells are the somatotrophs, thyrotrophs, gonadotrophs, lactotrophs, and corticotrophs. HGH, or human growth hormone, helps to promote the synthesis and secretion of the IGFs, or insulin-like growth factors, from the liver. The HGH stimulates the growth of lean tissues such as skeletal muscle, cartilage, bone, and muscle. It is stimulated by growth hormone releasing hormone from the hypothalamus when the blood sugar is low, and inhibited by growth hormone inhibiting hormone when the blood sugar is high. The blood sugar is involved because this hormone also causes fat to be broken down to make more energy available as sugar. Our levels of HGH are highest in childhood and exponentially decrease around age 30. The IGFs act similar to insulin, but not exactly the same. The The IGFs promote protein synthesis, maintaining bone and muscle mass, and the breakdown of fat and glycogen. Regular insulin promotes fat and glycogen storage, unlike the IGFs. Other things will influence the levels of HGH and IGFs. Their production is stimulated by decreased levels of fatty acids and increased amino acids in the blood, by sympathetic stimulation, glucagon, estrogens, cortisol, and insulin. Their production is inhibited by deep sleep, high levels of fatty acids and low amino acids in the blood, REM or lighter sleep, emotional deprivation, obesity, low thyroid, and higher levels of HGH. TSH is the thyroid-stimulating hormone, which stimulates the secretion and synthesis of thyroid hormones. This is controlled by thyrotropin-releasing hormone, or TRH, from the hypothalamus. FSH is follicle-stimulating hormone and promotes the development of the female ovarian follicle and male follicle for sperm production. This is stimulated by gonadotropin-releasing hormone and is limited by inhibin. This prevents too much sperm production or ovulation of more than one egg at a time. LH, or luteinizing hormone, triggers ovulation with the large surge of estrogen it triggers. It also favors the formation of the corpus luteum to secrete progesterone. This also stimulates the follicular cells to secrete estrogen and testosterone. Prolactin is secreted by the anterior pituitary and stimulates the mammary glands to produce milk in tissues primed by other hormones. PIH, or prolactin inhibiting hormone, which is the same as dopamine, inhibits release most of the time. Levels of PIH decrease a little before menstruation to increase the levels of prolactin just a little, which may lead to breast tenderness. PRH, or prolactin-releasing hormone, is released during pregnancy and primes the tissues. Hypersecretion in males may lead to erectile dysfunction. Hypersecretion in females may lead to galactorrhea and amenorrhea. Levels are often high enough in lactating females to suppress the menstrual cycle. ACTH, or adrenocorticotropin hormone, triggers the production and secretion of the glucocorticoids from the adrenal cortex in response to stress. The glucocorticoids help to regulate glucose metabolism. The production of ACTH is stimulated by CRH, or corticotropin-releasing hormone, from the hypothalamus. MSH, or melanocyte-stimulating hormone, stimulates the melanocytes to produce melanin. This is triggered by high levels of CRH, which occurs with stress, and is inhibited by dopamine, which is associated with a feeling of pleasure. MSH levels are high in amphibians, but their role in humans is not completely understood. The posterior pituitary only releases two hormones, both of which are produced in the hypothalamus. Oxytocin stimulates the contraction of the uterus and the breast for childbirth and milk ejection. Oxytocin interacts with other neurotransmitters to help with the bonding between the mother and her child and promote nurturing feelings. Pitocin is the synthetic form of the hormone used in inducing labor. The oxytocin secretion during breastfeeding also helps to contract the uterus after childbirth. ADH, or antidiuretic hormone, is also known as vasopressin. This stimulates the kidneys to retain water, decreasing the urine volume. This will also increase arterial constriction, raising the blood pressure, and decreasing the water lost through sweat. Without ADH, the normal daily urine volume of 1 to 2 liters would increase to 20 liters per day. Alcohol inhibits ADH secretion.